In this tutorial, I will show you how to create your own wing rig in Blender, but with the specialty that you will control this whole rig with just one controller. And we're gonna do this in 3 steps. So first we're gonna create the rig and the controller that will drive the whole wing setup. Then we're gonna set up some drivers, which will translate all the movements of the controller onto our wing rig. And in the last step, we're gonna animate the controller using cyclic modifiers, so that the wings will get these nice and fluid movements. So the first thing that we're gonna do is create an armature, which will be made out of 2 main bones, and this will be the arm of our wing. After that, we're gonna create the feathers, and since this will be a pretty simple setup, we're just gonna have 2 segments per feather. This will be enough to show you the principles of the wing rig. Now we're creating the main controller that will be driving the whole rig. And in this case I decided to go for an icosphere because it's a very simple shape. Our controller will be in the center of the world because we're gonna use its world space location. Now we're going to open up the driver's workspace. This will be important for setting up the drivers for each bone so that we can control them in a very simple manner. And as you see here, we're going to start by setting up the local Z rotation of each bone. And we're going to connect the driver to them so that we can drive this rotation with the controller that we set up earlier. And how we're going to do it is by right-clicking into the Z rotation field and selecting Add Driver. After that, we take the picker and choose our icosphere or the controller as the object that will be the main driver for the rotation. And now we can go into the driver's workspace and we see on the left hand side that we have the Z rotation now added. We click on it, and on the right hand side, if you choose drivers, we can see that the controller is now added, and we just need to change the type from X location into Z location. And now if we select the controller and move it up and down on its Z location, you can now see that this is driving the Z rotation of the bone. And just to iterate a little bit more about the driver panel and the workspace, so if we click on the Z rotation that we just chose, you have the driver panel here on the right hand side, and here you can see our object that will be controlling or driving the rotation, which you can just select here. You can select here which attribute should drive the rotation. We will choose the Z location for the controller, and this whole thing is called a variable, and this is called VAR. That's like the default name. And here is the expression field. Here you can put in equations or other things that will be calculating the amount of influence that the controller will have on the rotation. For now it's just VAR, so everything that the controller does plus 0.0, which means that the location will be translated 1-to-1 into the rotation without any additional influences. Right now, when I move it up and down, the bone rotates in the same manner as the controller. But if we set the variable, so this here, times 2 for example, then this will rotate twice as fast or twice as much. And we can even set it up to times 10, and then it will rotate way faster with just a little bit of translation in the Z-axis for the controller. We can also set it up to times 0.1, which will rotate it way less, so 1/10 of the amount. And that's basically all we need for setting up the wings and the drivers to do exactly what we want to do. And what we can do now is just basically copy the driver from one bone to the other, which is fairly simple. We just need to select the next bone, which is the main arm bone, so the second bone. Shift select the first bone, which has the driver. And then you just go into the Z rotation and right click, and then you just choose copy driver to selected. And as you see now, both bones are driven by the controller and both have the same rotation. But since we want the second bone to rotate in the opposite direction, we just need to set up the variable to a negative amount. And this way the rotation will go into the other direction, and so we'll get this nice folding animation. I also decided to change the variables a little bit for the main arm bone That's why I added a times 1.1 after the VAR variable, so that the whole segment will be multiplied by 1.1. So the rotation is just a little bit more enhanced by 10%, basically. Now the next step is to repeat this process with the first two feather bones. So we are going to copy the driver from the arm bones to the feather bones, and as you can see, the rotation is also added to those bones. But as you can see, the last feather rotates a little bit too far. So now we're going to change the variables a little bit so that it rotates a little bit less, so that it ends up at a position that looks good to us. Now we continue with copying the drivers to the other bones. So now we take the last driver that we created and copy it to the next row of feathers. As you can see, the rotation works already, but some of the feathers need a little bit more adjustment so that they don't rotate too much, so that in the end we have a nice folding of the feathers and the wing. Here you can see I play around a little bit with the variables. You can just play around with your own numbers and see what looks good and what doesn't. This is no perfect science, this is just for a good look. So now the last step is to repeat this process again and copy the driver from the last digit of the top feather to the other last digits of the other feathers. So now our controller is driving all bones. So now we know how to add drivers, and we're going to repeat this process again, but this time for the X rotation of all bones, and we'll assign the movement of the controller on its X-axis to that rotation. So in the end we'll get a nice folding animation for all bones. And as you can see here, the first driver that I created for the X rotation works already very well, and I just copied it to all remaining feather bones, and now you can see that it basically works flawlessly, so we can leave it as it is, and I'm very happy with it, so we can continue adding more controls to the wing. And here I'm testing if both rotations that we set up for each bone work perfectly together, so I move the controller on both the Z and the X axis, and as you can see, we already have a very nice, very fluid animation. So, the next step. Now I'd like to add some control to the Y rotation of the arm. So now I'm going to repeat all the adding driver processes that we did before, and we will control this rotation with the Y position of our controller. Okay, now we're going to add one last control, and this is the flapping motion of the arm, or the rotation on its X-axis. And since we already used all three axes of our controller, I decided to use the scaling on the X-axis to control the folding of the arm. In this case, however, the wing suddenly changes its rotation. I'm not sure why, but it's easily fixed with just one variable, and we just need to add a -1 behind our equation, and the wing snaps back to its original rotation. Okay, so we're basically done with the rigging, and now we see that the controls work perfectly. Everything looks super smooth and super fluid. So what are the next steps? Well, first of all, to see how it affects a wing, I'm just going to model very quickly and very roughly a wing shape and parent it to the rig with automatic weights so that you can see how a wing would look like if it's controlled by the rig. And to see how it looks like with two wings, I'm just gonna copy and mirror the rig to the other side so we can control both wings at the same time. Okay, so now comes the fun part. We're gonna animate them. And you might think, well, it's easy, just wiggle around the controller and that's it. But it will look even better when we use some cyclic motions that repeat over and over again. And then we will offset them just by a few frames, and you will see this will give the whole wing setup a whole new character and a lot more realism. So let's take a look. So first we're going to open up our timeline. Then we're going to press I so that we create keyframes for all of our transformations. And now we're going to switch to the graph editor. So first we're going to animate the x-axis of our controller, which controls the flapping of the wings. We're going to move it on the x-axis a little bit so that the wings fold, and this will create another keyframe. After that, we're going to copy the first keyframe again and put it after the second one. Then we're going to select all of them, press Shift E, and choose Make Cyclic. This will create a modifier that repeats all keyframes that we set so far. It is then possible to copy this modifier to all the other transformations. We can now adjust the keyframes so that the wing flapping looks good. We're going to adjust the keyframes for the Y location of our controller a little bit. This will rotate our wings so that they are in a flying position. Now we're going to copy the cyclic modifier from our X location to our Z location so that we can also make the folding cyclic. And then we'll repeat the steps that we already took for the X location, which are setting up a second keyframe, then duplicating the first keyframe again. And as you can see, all keyframes that we set are now being made cyclic. And now we just repeat the process again for the X scale, so that we also animate the flapping of the arm. And here we can also paste the modifier again, so that this motion will also be cyclic and repeat forever and ever. I also found that it's a good idea to also make the rotation of the arm cyclic, so that there is a little bit more movement and it's a little bit more dynamic. And now comes an interesting part, which is we're gonna offset the flapping, so the controller location on the x-axis, just by a few frames, and then we'll have the offset of some of the movements, which will make the whole flapping a little bit more dynamic, more realistic. And we're gonna do the same with the X scale, which controls the flapping of the arms, so that overall both animations overlap a little bit, and this gives it this very fluid motion. Now you can just tweak all the keyframes a little bit, you can adjust the height of your wave, so that you can control the intensity of the flapping or of each movement. It's up to you to see what looks best and what fits your purpose. And now, when you're happy with the animation, you can take those two armatures and you can attach them to your characters. And what I like about this setup especially is how easy it is to adjust. With just tweaking a few keyframes, you have full control over the motion, and you can adjust it just by sliding them a little bit left and right or up and down. And you can make the flapping stronger or weaker, you can change the rotation, and it all still repeats over and over again and still stays natural. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you have fun making your own wing structures and animations. If you liked that video, then maybe show it by clicking the like button, and I would really appreciate it if you also subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon, which will be linked down in the description. So if you'd like to support me and my projects, I would really appreciate it. I also have a Patreon shop where you can directly purchase some of my rigs. And that's it. So have a good day and see you in the next one. Bye bye.